Welcome to the Szikla Technical instructional video on system alignment of the Prodigal dual channel strip and monitor station. Before tracking is commenced, the Prodigal output and the DAW input need to be aligned. When the Prodigal output meter and the recording channel input meter both agree, signal ceilings will be matched across the system and maximum signal-to-noise ratios may be enjoyed. The procedure shown in this video is also reproduced in the Prodigal user manual available from the Szikla Technical website. Step 1. Download and prepare test tone. Go to the szikla.com downloads page and download the Prodigal test tone file. Open an audio session and create 2 new stereo tracks. Label the first one Test Tone and the second one Return. Import the Prodigal testtone.wav file into the test tone track and configure that track to output to your DAW. Press the solo button so that it is the only track to output. Configure the return track to receive audio from left-right inputs on your DAW and then enable record for that track only. Make sure your test tone, return and master faders are all set to 0 dB. Our test tone is now prepared, and once we sort out our cabling, we can send it through the Prodigal channel strip and then record it back onto our return track, adjusting and matching levels as we go. Step 2. Set up DAW output to Prodigal input. Connect the left and right line outputs from your DAW to either the front or rear Prodigal channel strip inputs. Today we will use the front TRS inputs for convenience. Then switch those inputs to line. Avoid using microphone level when patching between devices. Always use line level. On the Prodigal front panel, disengage all switches. Set bandwidth to maximum. Set in knob full anti-clockwise. Set out knob to 0. Set the output compressor de-esser meter to output. The Prodigal monitor switch may be engaged if you wish to hear the test tone while you are making adjustments. Go to your DAW, set the output monitor level to maximum, and ensure there is no input signal in the monitor mix, only audio from your computer. Step 3. Set up your Prodigal output to your DAW input. Connect the main XLR outputs to the DAW line inputs and switch the DAW to accept a line level signal. It is worth noting that some less expensive DAW interfaces have pad switches instead of line input switches. On the Prodigal, switch the XLR output pad switch to +4 dBu Pro line level or -10 dBV domestic level, whichever matches the operating level of the DAW. If you don't know, use -10 dBV as your starting point. We are now ready to make some noise and perform our alignment. Step 4. Adjust Prodigal levels. In your audio session, press play to play back the test tone. You should observe the test tone and master fader tracks are both metering at -6 dB full scale. Now go to the Prodigal and observe the input meter is showing some signal. Adjust the in knob for each channel until the input meter displays -6 dB fs for both left and right. Adjust the out knob for each channel until the output meter displays -6 dB fs for both left and right, same as the input meter. Now press the dual mono out switch in order to negate any minor channel imbalance and ensure precisely matched levels at each XLR output. The Prodigal levels are now set. Go to your audio session and press stop. Step 5. Adjust your DAW input level. Re-cue the test tone track, and this time arm your session to record on the return track. Press Record Play. You should see the Prodigal meters all display -6 dB as before. Now adjust the DAW input trimmers until the return track is metering at -6 dB full scale. Check that there is no difference between left and right. Note, if your DAW trim is wound up full and your return track still shows less than -6 dB full scale, then switch the Prodigal XLR output pad to +4 dB and repeat the DAW trim adjustment. When left matches right, return to the Prodigal and unpress the dual mono out switch to resume stereo operation. Check again for minor channel imbalance and finally readjust the out knobs if necessary. When the level displayed on the return track meter matches the Prodigal input and output meters, which in turn match the test tone and master fader meters, your system is now aligned. Now that your system is aligned, mark or fix the position of your DAW input trimmers, and note the output pad position of your Prodigal XLRs, as these settings will be standard for all of your sessions. The Prodigal may now be used freely and adjusted for desired amplification, EQ and dynamics, with the final record level being determined by the out knob. Any further alteration to the DAW input trim should be avoided. Also, when recording, processing or mastering a stereo signal, the final track balance can be centered and maximized by careful adjustment of the left and right out knobs. To return to normal monitoring, repatch the DAW output to playback input 1 or 2 of the monitor station. Thank you for watching the Szikla technical instructional video on system alignment of the Prodigal dual channel strip and monitor station.